Real desktop sound, boom, and transitioning. Are you kidding me?
There's sound.
All right.
Yeah, it was real brief.
All right, is it back? I'm hoping so.
Yep.
All right, so everything that I was saying. So there was some sort of magical proof, and basically, hello, DM Legend and Song. You're at plot points. These are plot points players, and to start us all off, they're sitting around in the woods, joking a lot about how they remember this one night that they all went to heaven, where this strange paladin who had joined them, a friend of Anna's, had made a most explosive introduction to the Emperor themselves. And as they're sitting around the fire crackles a little bit, not because anybody, let out flatulence that burned, but maybe just a log popped a little bit. And it's right about then that Blaze, who's been stoically watching the woods at all this, looks over towards the others and says,
it's about time you get back from those woods over there, Verdic.
He probably was taking another shyte. Everybody duck and cover.
Verdic walks out and just drops some logs in the fire and sits down on the log quietly.
Dropping logs again, huh?
Oh, I was going to say that one too.
That was one heck of a night, guys.
It was very peculiar. Never have been tried to be murdered by a cloud of farts before, but yeah, it was different, very different. Speaking of which, you probably don't remember any of this, or at the time, right? And he looks over to our Tabaxi friend.
No, I love hearing the story. You guys can keep going. I don't need to experience it.
Would have been even better had you have been there.
It would have been hilarious.
It would have been better if you guys weren't there and were doing our mission like I was, scouting around the town, instead of blowing up the Emperor's palace.
I mean, what's the fun in doing just a mission? It's about the side
to be
quests.
the guy that cleaned that up.
You left them a mess everywhere you went, huh? Luckily, I was able to return after scouting and find out where you guys were. Otherwise, I never would have gotten there.
How did you actually end up finding us?
You guys remember, apparently you told everyone to leave, and someone decided to stick around a bit and heard about the Emperor's Palace. What was it? The animal handler dude. You guys, I'm sure you remember him. He was big. Yeah, he mentioned that something about the Emperor's Palace. He didn't quite understand what was going on completely. He was a little out of earshot, but he mentioned that you guys apparently were being brought there. So I figured I'd try to see what was going on and what was taking so long.
Or at least that's the story that he's holding to.
It's not a shitty story.
But you guys actually did see him that night. It just took a little while. In most cat fashions, it came at the cat's time. Right after the rat had gone running towards those stairs, as we recall, because a certain individual in our party turned out to be a rat more than once. He went over to the stairs, and it was there looking up the stairs that he sees a familiar-looking Tabaxi creeping down them. A Tabaxi that had stopped to sniff the air because something smelled amiss. What exactly did that smell like, Den of Wolves?
Rancid. And I thought maybe they just had a bunch of bodies down here decaying, and they were just gonna execute these guys too and let them rot down here with all these other probably thousands of rotten bodies that must be down here by the smell of it.
Well, we had left off where the scene that you walk into, Den of Wolves, is you smell it, you come down the stairs, and you see this rat coming towards you. I don't know, is that like something that you'd automatically want to pounce and eat? Because you had already met the other Tabaxi, and you know from that brief meeting with them, some of them, and now confirmed because of the time that you were away from these others, are actually were-rat hunters. This might be a tiny little were-rat in disguise.
Chomp the rat.
Chomp the rat? Let's have everybody roll for initiative, please.
Yay.
And then I'll work on putting all the little other symbols in place. And chat can let us know whether or not they like this new overlay. Nothing set in stone, but we're playing with it and trying to get things set. Oh, I should probably have those up. I apologize. Everybody wants to see those dice rolls from all our massive players. So just that they got a chance to see them. Den of Wolves got an 11, Fenrir a 4, Griffin an 18, and Blaze a 16. So we have Griff, Blaze, and then it was Den and Fenrir, and let me put my Cloud, and then we have the individuals that you can't see,
which is Gas.
No, I already got
Gas
that. That's
is
the
now
Cloud.
alive.
That's the, perfect. Okay, you guys are all in initiative order, and there we go. And as you come down the stairs, you see not only the rat that you're getting ready to pounce on, but you see this yellow mist start literally creeping across the floor, rear up, and go over the rat. The Cloud actually beat you all on initiative order, so the Cloud will be making its free attacks on each of you that is present, which, Griffin, you were the only one that had been able to fend it off using your wing, if you remember.
Yes.
And keeping it at a distance. I don't have D&D Beyond open, so I'm going to have to ask you guys your ACs real quick. I'll grab my sheets here in a moment. Blaze, does a 14 hit you?
I am stunned.
Blaze, you're taking damage.
Okay.
Can you please make a con save for me?
When the explosion happened, I got knocked into the stairs, so I'm stunned.
Oof. Make a con save as this yellow mist envelops you.
Oof.
Oh my. That's a 3. That's not good.
That is a 3.
For the moment, you will have the poisoned effect in addition to being stunned. So you can add that as a condition. That will not be going well for you at the moment. And you are stuck retching from this violent smell, which seems to be actually creeping up your nose. Den of Wolves, you're able to take this in. The mist does not affect you because you're still on the stairs. Griff, you have an opportunity. It's moving into attack. You've been able to fend it off. I'm going to give you advantage since you're blowing your wind. Go ahead and make a dexterity roll. You can use your athletics to use your body to try and push this away more.
Athletic? Well, you said dexterity, right?
Athletics is under that. Oh, I'm sorry. Acrobatics, I meant.
Acrobatics? Okay,
I said the wrong thing. Even though D&D 5e, we are a teaching stream, don't let anybody make you feel locked in. You are allowed to mix and match different abilities with different skills based off of what your DM thinks is the most appropriate mix and match.
All right. So with advantage, that would be a 9.
A 9. So as you're sweeping it away in one part, it's actually coming at you in other parts. And what's your base AC?
12.
12. And this comes at you. Would you please make a con save for us?
Absolutely. There we go.
13.
Lucky number.
13. In your case, only because it hasn't been able to fully connect with you because you're batting it away, your save had a, not advantage, but a lower score, and you're okay. So you're able, with your breathing and whatnot, to hold it off. And that brings us down to Fenrir. Fenrir! Yeah, would you make a con save? I don't think you're getting away from a nat 20.
Ooh.
Yeah, it got you. I don't even have to ask your AC. It's like, it hit.
DM's harsh on me today. He's like, nah, man, you're done. You're done. Let's see. Con save.
First nat 20 of the night. Woo! Hey, Freya! Welcome, Shade and Shadow. Welcome to the game. Darren, welcome. Good to have you all here. And don't yell over the Twitch. Sorry. I'm just excited. Oh, and I still have to go get my coffee.
And there's a minor wild magic surge.
Oh
no,
damn.
Shade, we are so raising that price. I keep getting bashed on everybody, including the players. But I'm going to add that just because I love Shade. Haha. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Break out the spells.
I'm a rogue and I don't have any.
Sure you don't want to be an arcane trickster?
No, I would, but no.
Yes, answer.
Does an ability like Divine Smite trigger the Wild Magic Surge?
No, it's an ability.
Yes.
Nope, it has to actually be some sort of
It's
spell
what
that we
I have.
can work with.
Don't the smites take spell slots?
It does. That's why I was asking, because it's considered a special ability, but it's up to the DM, I guess, how they classify that.
Oh, I did not realize it took a spell slot. It's been a while since Marcos that I had somebody actually play a Paladin in the game.
I have 2 left.
Sorry, I'm suffering war.
Marcos kind of ended it all. It's like, once you see the Paladin go dark and take Strahd out and become the new Strahd. You know...
Oh, no.
It is using your spell slot.
Ouch.
I think what do you guys think? I really think that would probably be...
Magic.
Yeah,
Wild magic?
It certainly would make things interesting more than it is
Someone
already.
saved this clip. He said he wants more wild magic, and then when we all wipe, we can play it back on the Twitch
Do it.
highlight.
There you go.
I'm literally born into chaos. Like
More wild magic it is. We shall have it that your Divine Smite does indeed trigger wild magic. Summoning it up and using it.
It's guaranteed, gang. It's going to happen.
I'll take a feat that lets me get some spells so I can join you with wild magic.
Oh, there we go. Just double down on it. You might want to.
Oh, God bless. All right. So, Constitution save. Fail. Nat 1. Oh, my God, on top of it. You have the poisoned condition.
Yep.
And sadly, with the nat crit, oh, my gosh. That will mean each round, I'm not giving you damage this round. We'll let it set in for a round. And shall we say, ferment. Griff, it's your up.
Okay.
As you're beating this off, what do you do in response to this cloud that seems to be trying its darndest, almost like it was alive, to get around your beating wing?
Well, at the moment, I believe I'm still in my cell, and I believe I am also still laughing pretty hard at this. Not noticing the actual danger, but there was a blast, right? That happened before, right? If I'm remembering that correctly.
Are you referring to as explosive butt, or what are we referring to?
It knocked me back, I think. But I'm just gonna try to, I guess, rough through it and try to shoulder check this with the bars in front of me, and try to get out.
Okay. So you'll have to go through the cloud to do that. As long as you're okay with that. All right.
Totally
cool.
fine.
So make a charge right through the cloud, and let's see what you can do, brother.
All right. Why is that like that? There. I'm gonna have to adjust my screen. Roll.
Sorry about that. I think I rolled randomly.
There we go.
Woo! Love it! He's through. You make it over. You're at the door, which is still closed, buddy.
Oh, crap.
You never opened your door.
Oh. Well, then.
And you don't have
Yikes.
keys.
I'm just gonna try to bust through it. Like, I don't see any other.
Well, there's no handle on the inside of the door, but you could grab that slot with the bars the same as everybody else's and tug on that.
You know what? If it's there, why not? I'll try that.
You grab it, pull, and the door opens right up. Literally, you end up throwing yourself back into the cloud because you jerked on it so hard, and it seems like it wasn't even latched.
Well, for Griff, he's gonna think that he's extremely strong and just broke it. It was like, damn. And then he's gonna move on, trying to continue on the path.
Sweet. On your turn, I need you to make a con save, please. Top of your turn. I should have had you do it at the start, but...
Yeesh. All right.
And the violent retching, which overtakes you from the smell, causes you 5 points of damage, hit points.
Griff is no longer laughing. This is not funny anymore.
Your movement is now halved. Those under the poisoned condition, your movement is halved. And you will be, if you fail your con saves, taking damage each turn. So,
Oof, okay.
at the top of each turn. If you make your con save, you will still have the poisoned condition as long as this sentient cloud is there, but you will avoid damage. So, you get out into the hallway where you see some furry feet through the cloud, up on a set of stairs not too far away. It appears somebody's coming down to where you are. You can also make out now, as I recall, Verdic had already left his cell last time. Verdic, where did you leave off?
So I had run to the other cell where the circus ringleader was laying, and I had used the save the dying, spread the dying.
Yes,
and then I was going to turn around and try to get other people up. And you said at the end that I heard the sound of the cleric moving. He was making noise, so I don't know if he was actually conscious. That was just kind of where we left that.
You'll have to go and check. I don't really want to say more than that till you actually go to the cleric and do something there. All right, so Griff, you're into the hallway, so now you have an idea of whether or not you can see Verdic. And is that going to end your turn?
Yeah. That'll end my turn for now.
Okay. Blaze, top of the turn. Can you make a con save for me, please?
Okay. How long does the stunned effect last?
Oh, from being struck into it, just the one round, so you should be good this round.
All right.
But you still have the poisoned condition.
Right. Con save going. 17.
Nice. You are fine. You take no damage this round. And what would you like to do?
I'm trying to get away from it. First of all, this cloud, is it multiple clouds or is it just
no,
one
it's one
cloud?
big, nasty, yellowish brown fart cloud hanging in the air that appears to be moving, even though there's no wind in the room. Reaching out,
So it's
swirling towards you.
So it's spanning two different rooms?
Well, if you counted all the cells, there's probably about 8 cells in length here, up and down the corridor. It seems to have come out from the one and just is emerging as if it was like trying to expand and encompass the entire space. As if it had been somehow compressed and was only now being released into the world.
I'm trying to get the stairs, either up or down, whichever way they go, and get away from the cloud.
As you start going up the stairs, you see this menacing looking cat creature Tabaxi above you. You recognize Den of Wolves instantly, who seemed ready to pounce on you, but has stopped and his whiskers are twitching on his face. Maybe he smells a rat. Maybe he just smells shit.
Maybe it's both.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Oh, yeah, there you go.
You can have a couple plot points for that once I get yours in the right spot.
I'm gonna try to get past him if I can and up the stairs.
Sure, use your movement. Now you're going to be having to use your climb action, which slows you down a little bit because you're a tiny rat going upstairs. So your movement will be nowhere near what it was as a full-size Dragonborn. However, you are more than welcome to do the best you can. You know you could probably get right by him. Because you're smaller than he, you can actually move through his square. Now that will not stop him taking an opportunity attack on you, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get past him.
Perfect. You move, you start moving past him. Den of Wolves. Do you wish to make an opportunity attack on this little rat trying to get by?
You described the cloud as like coming over him when he was the rat. Did it, from my point, does it look like this is some kind of weird cloud that's trying to eat things?
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm more concerned with the cloud than the rat.
Okay, yeah.
So no, not at the time.
Okay, no.
Originally, I was fully game for attacking him, but now there's a big scary cloud eating things.
Yeah, this cloud definitely looks like the big baddie in this area that probably would require a little more of your attention if you want to live long. All right, so Den of Blaze, you have successfully moved up through his square, gotten a few feet up, a few steps behind him. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
Just be prepared to keep moving on the next one.
All right, perfect. Let's assume that you're going to be using your dash action since you didn't have another action. That doubles your movement, so you're scurrying as fast as possible. It gives you another few steps up there. Probably if you use your dash action on the next turn, you can make it to the top of the steps and a hallway. And at that point, we'll cut over to, we'll skip him because you guys don't know about him, and go to Den of Wolves on the stairs.
I'm going to try to attack this cloud to see if it really is some kind of creature or something. So
Okay.
I'm going to like make knife hands and generate like this purple psychic energy. And I'm just going to slash in at the cloud using my psychic blades.
Is that considered a magical attack?
It is not. It's just it's considered, I don't know, because they never really define, because it's psychic. So it's psychic energy. They never really define it as a spell, but I can just generate psychic blades. If you want to count it as a spell, I'm okay with it.
I think for today, just because it would be fun to count it as a spell.
Hell yeah,
And again, it doesn't have to be a spell, just a magical attack. So a magical weapon is a magical attack. Like key blasts are magical attacks. So yeah, I'm going to make a call on that. We might change it later. But for today, having fun, that's a magical attack. Let's go with that.
A very bad one. I'm gonna have to adjust with
and as you do, your psychic blades come out from your swinging at this thing, and the cloud seems to part around it, moving as if getting out of your way of your blades.
Okay. I'm gonna bonus action do the same thing with my offhand.
Okay.
As soon as I find where it is, there it is. Okay, that's better.
Woo! All right, and with your offhand, your second psychic blade, because you can make more than one. You're telling me, right?
If I make one with my main hand, I can then make one with my offhand.
Cool. And that absolutely seems to connect. And as the cloud parts, your other hand comes raking over, hits this thing, and as it does, the entire thing seems to ripple, come apart, and like scatter. And as it does, this fine brown ash falls out of the air to the floor, covering it with this dust.
That's weird.
The rest of the cloud starts
like
to roll in immediately. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn other than your attack action? You could move into the cloud if you desire.
Can I just like crouch down and like try to peek into the room to see if I see anything? I'm just looking for my friends.
As you crouch down, you see this hallway with numerous wood doors off to the side, but the doors open inward to the cells. So you can see a couple of them that are open because Verdic left his open. Verdic then went to a different room, and Griffin has just opened the one. And as you do it through this brownish yellow mist, you can actually see a familiar bird kind of waddling into the hallway, and you know it's Griffin.
Interesting. I'm gonna take a step back.
That seems fair.
Just like another step back up the stairs.
Almost stepping on the rat behind him, he backs up the stairs a little bit and prepares to possibly cut bait and run. Is that all you're doing on your turn?
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Fenrir. I'm sorry, why did I write Fenrir? Verdic, you are up. Sorry.
That's my bad. All right, so there was no one else down, right? It's just I healed the circus leader, and then can I look around the area that we're in? Is there another way out other than the direction that Blaze is running?
When you walked into the hallway, it appears to be a dead-end area where you have to go back up the staircase in order to get out. Now, there might be a secret way. Perhaps our rogue knows of one. But you haven't even know the rogue's here yet.
Yeah, and the cloud, is it within melee distance of me? Well, I've got...
It is everywhere.
Okay,
It is quickly coming in the room that you just entered into. That's why you had to make a save last time. So... it's even where you are.
So Verdic's going to use his bonus action. Going to activate the pin pole arm. And then I am going to... He's looking around. He's prepping his pole arm. He's about to use his Divine Smite again. And he's going to say, Griffin, use those things again on your back. Push it this way. And he's going to try to use Divine Smite on this cloud.
He doesn't know what wings are.
He's never seen a bird, man. That's not something I've ever seen before.
Bird person.
Divine Smite away, buddy. I believe that requires an attack roll, right?
It does indeed, sir.
Let's see it.
We'll see. Well, if it's going to fall in line with the other rolls so far tonight, your cloud is going to be hurting.
Here we go.
I love it.
Dang,
And would you
that was
please
a
do me a
shot.
favor and roll a D15,000 to honor Shade, who's ready for something truly explosive to happen.
Oh, no.
15,000.
And then would you roll me a D6, please?
God.
And it's a 5. The DM goes over to his happy little file folder here.
Wait a minute, wasn't that what I rolled the last time?
Probably.
And we go to click. Oh,
I
that's
don't
an
have to extend
interesting
the
one.
spell slot. That's a plus.
10517, huh? Interesting. You swing out. Literally, you're... How do you picture this? Is it like light around
so he
it?
kind of readies it up, and then he comes down on top, trying to channel his energy into the downward stroke.
Using your bonus action, you turn this because you're using your glaive, right?
Yeah, long spear. Yeah.
Oh, the long spear. Okay. You come right down, the cloud parting around it. It goes into the ground, and as it does, it hits the ground and pierces into the floor, which is made of wood. And as it does, the entire floor in this ripple goes out, turning black, turning to ash, and opening up a hole in the floor. And everything starts to rot and decay as if time itself had accelerated 1,000 things, and rolls out from that towards you, towards the wall, ripping away the floor and leaving open this hole beneath. But it's not stopping there. It's going out towards you, the door. The bottom of the door starts decaying upwards, the wall.
You've destroyed the universe. Cool.
He's gonna look down and
Why
be like,
do we work with
"Shit!"
this guy?
Here we go.
What else would you like to do on your turn?
So I expended the... I'm gonna just move. I'm gonna try to move away from the collapsing floor.
Arimathea, who's gotten to her feet, is like, partially caught, just getting caught on the edge of it and has to back further into the cell, creating an even bigger gap where you were attacking this thing because the hole is going out. Now, are you going over the hole to try and get into the main corridor or what?
Yeah, we'll try to jump over. I think that we should attempt to make the leap with the athletics roll.
Okay, do that up, brother.
Yeah, fun.
Hey, you have that spare character already, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna need it real fast because that's a 7.
He goes to leap over this
God.
and literally just makes it to the other side of the hole, turns, and as he does, the ground underneath where his feet hit decays as well, causing him to slip and reach out and make an immediate grab. Griffin, if you want, he's right next to you. You can use your reaction to try and grab at him and stop him falling in.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and make a reaction roll for me with your strength. Athletics. This time it actually is athletics.
Well,
Remember now,
Oh,
he's
that's right,
covered in
jumps is
shite.
strength, right? My bad.
Shite. Sometimes you just got to get your hands dirty. Oh, that's not happening. Oh God, that's not happening.
My God.
You grabbed hold of him, but he was so covered in shite.
He's so slippery. It's not the solid type. It's the
You
liquid.
rolled a -1.
And a moment later, this paladin who was right on the edge, Griff reaches out and forgets he should have reached with his arm, but instinctively he's been using his wings and baps you right back into the hole, and you go falling backwards. Your pull, only for a moment, holding you up before the whole edge lets go, and you fall and plummet down into the darkness below.
You killed him, Eric.
And somewhere in the back of
Might
your
be some
mind, Verdic,
alcohol still in the
you hear
system.
this. Serves you right. Serves you right. You should have let me out. But you're the only one that can hear it. Oh my. Poor Verdic.
Thanks,
We will get into exactly what happens here. I had him going to say other things before you decided to dive out this way.
I tried. Well, yeah. The player me tried. Griffin did not.
Always wanting to find the positives. On the positive side, buddy, you just got out of reach of the cloud. All right.
Forever.
Griff.
I don't know how big it is.
Griff, the cloud has successfully hit you. You will be. Oh, now I see. I didn't understand that first round. Now I get why the cloud. I was like, man, this thing is so underpowered, but it gets to do damage on its round as well as yours. I get that now. Now I understand it because you're already in it. That could be a serious problem.
You're also dead.
No.
I had an exploding dice, and it came to a total of 11. Are you still up?
Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. I am not. I am down.
Ah! Okay, Griff is down. Our healer just went down the hole, knocked out by the one that went down. Which will end up. Oh, I've got to make the other attacks. Blaze, you are still within. No, you actually got up the stairway. You are out of reach. It's gonna move towards you again because it's also trying. No, the hole is open. You guys. Blaze, as you're still heading up the stairs, you don't see it. It's behind you. But Den of Wolves, you do see this cloud that was coming towards you suddenly recoil backwards and start whipping towards Griffin and the others in the hallway. You had briefly caught sight of that new guy, Verdic, diving out of a hole backwards like he was trying to make some acrobatic flip. I don't know. It was kind of weird. But the cloud seems to be moving in that direction. So no attack on you, no attack on Blaze. It already made its attack on Griff, which brings it to Griff's turn. Unfortunately, Griff, if you are down, that means you have to start off with two things happening. Your death save, for one, that tops your round.
All right.
You need to succeed on this. Just remember that.
Because, otherwise you then got to make your con save right after it, and if you take damage, that'll be an automatic crit.
Okay, so death save. How do I do that on D&D Beyond?
It's up. It's a button by. It should be just. Roll
It's
a
literally
D20.
just a
What are you talking
D20,
about?
so if you need to,
D20.
just hit a
That's
D20.
right.
If you get 10 or above, give Verdic a friend. Everybody's got friends here. Everyone needs a little friend in life. It's just true.
All right, that's an 11.
I love it, Derek's like, just click the word, man. That's it. I didn't have dice rolls up. What'd you get, buddy? An 11, I see.
Yeah,
So he makes his death save. Could you make a con save for us, please?
absolutely.
Hey, evening, Wolves Dad. We're just watching our party go down in a flaming ball of poo. We're running from the floating ball of poo.
Literally.
And your con save, unfortunately, you do fail at, which means you'll take 2 automatic death fails, because it would be considered a critical hit, taking damage during this time.
Jesus.
And for every time you take a
I'm
hit...
sorry, Eric. I love you.
So...
No, it's okay.
That brings us to Blaze. You were heading up the stairs, and you haven't looked behind you or anything. Is that like your main goal? You're just going to stay on target here?
Now that I'm out of the reach of this, I'm going to take a moment to pause, maybe catch my breath.
As you're doing so, you hear this crackling sound behind you, which is the floor falling away from the rotting.
I'm going to go ahead and transform back into wild shape, back into myself.
You remove your wild shape, you become the you were always meant to be, right just a few feet up above the den of wolves and his back.
I turn and face him and holler at him and say, where the heck have you been this whole time?
I don't think we have time to discuss.
Hard-hitting questions.
Oh my god.
Any ideas on how to take out this cloud?
No. No.
It's so honest.
It's bad. It's bad. We need to go.
You just gotta love the brutal honesty. No, you got a clue, man. Out of here.
Can I see the cloud in anywhere from where I'm at? In any direction?
Yeah, getting lower on the stairs, you can see it all back there, and you can see it actually going away from you up the corridor towards where you can now see Griffin's body on the ground, kind of spasming on the ground as he chokes on this, which is actually up and leaving him, and then going down what appears to be into, you think it's one of the cells, and then you realize there's a hole in the floor, the same place you hear that crackling coming from, and the cloud appears to be moving out it.
Okay, I'm going to cast Ice Knife towards the cloud to see if that has any effect on it.
Okay. Cast your spell. We don't have any wild magic, so haha, Shade, they got one through on you. I love Shade's like, wild magic, chaos. 20. Wait, that's damage. That's damage. Where? Let me look up further. Ice Knife, 13. That's okay. It's retreating. You definitely have this. All right, and you do sweet freaking 20 damage. As you do, this Ice Knife wields out from you. Now, what's the range on Ice Knife?
60 feet.
Okay, cool. This lances out from you, hits the cloud as it's retreating, trying to go out this hole. And as it does, the entire thing turns into this cloud of like snow, brownish yellow pea-poo snow that falls from the air all over Griffin below and over the floor, covering it both. As the tail end of this cloud is destroyed, the rest of it going out the hole before you. Is that where you're going to end your turn?
I don't want to be that guy, but the knife didn't land 5 feet near Eric, right?
I swear to
It explodes and deals damage to everything within 5 feet of it.
No, we're going to be nice about that.
Thank God. Thank you for the mercy.
Knife, my mind just went, oh no. We're killing everyone ourselves.
So he says at least, yeah.
Well, now that I see that something's actually working against it, I'm going to start heading back towards it, see if I can attack more of it.
Okay, it appears that it went out this hole. So you move, you cross the distance, you literally are starting to step over Griffin when you realize this rotting floor opening into what you first thought was darkness below, but you realize is night sky. the time that has passed here while you were imprisoned, while you were waiting to see the Emperor, then seeing the Emperor, then being brought here afterwards, the time that has passed has moved you from the early morning all the way to evening. Perhaps time moves a little differently here. You're not quite sure. But of course you have no one to ask. But you're looking down through clouds into a night sky and part of the world below, and there's a rushing sound as if water nearby. And this floor that is rolling back is about to sweep both Griffin and you into it.
Is there any way I can grab hold of him and try to head back out of the way of the floor? Of the hole in the floor?
You most certainly can. You can use the rest of your movement, and we'll call it a free action because you're just grabbing something. You can manipulate one simple item in D&D 5e. So you grab it and just using your strength and whatnot, pull him back a few feet away from it. It is slowing down as it's getting larger, so you're able to pull him back into the hallway and you're safe there. For the moment, I'm going to step us out of initiative because the cloud has moved away from you. Verdic, I could cut over to you, but let's see what they do above first before I tell them what happened to you. Back up top, you guys have seen this cloud go out. You've seen what is kind of a brown ash elsewhere, and now a brown and yellow snow that is covering Griffin and along his eyes and whatnot. And what do you want to do? Because otherwise I got to make him make another death save here this round. But I'll give you guys an action first. Blaze, you took yours. Den, what are you doing?
I'm gonna rush over to him.
Thanks, Wolf's Dad, for giving all PCs inspiration. I do see that 1, 2, 3, actually all 4 have inspiration. So Wolf's Dad, what I'm going to do is I would be glad to either I can give that back to you for 900. I just don't have them all in place right. We're trying to fix some overlays. But what I can do, Wolf's Dad, is we can either give you that or I'll turn your 900 into 1500 and make it a wild magic surge. Let me know in chat what you'd like to do. So what are you doing, Den?
I'm just gonna go over and I'm gonna run over there and try to first aid as fast as possible.
Arimathea has come into the hallway. She sees you run over. Do a medical check for me or a medicine check, if you would, please?
Yeah, I'm also gonna add my psychic boost.
And don't forget, you do have inspiration. You already made your roll, but we could let you do it.
I forgot, but
you want to use your inspiration?
Sure.
We can just say
everything I can to it. So.
Yeah.
Wolf's Dad chose wild magic.
All right, we will add that in there for you. Kind of a free upgrade.
There you go.
1 second. Where am I?
Don't get any ideas, Shade. I can see you already plotting. He's like, oh, does everybody have it? Oops. Did I do that?
It's a D6.
Well, that's a great medicine, and yet you're...
That's +1, so it's a 19 overall.
Sweet! As you start doing this, you start trying to figure out, you've heard about people trying to breathe into other people's lungs, and you've got this kind of beaked Arakocra there. Do you want to try that? What is that? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
How would you do that as a big old cat with this bird and this beak?
Let's be vivid.
You just gotta try to the only thing I can think of is trying to hold it so that only the tip is pretty much open, so it seems like most of the rest of it's closed, so it's only one way in and one way out versus the whole entire thing being open.
The interesting thing is Den Wolves bends over to this bird, and he likes to chase birds, but this bird's a little different. He's been training with him, so he grabs the beak, holds it up, and as he does, he ends up kind of pulling this brown and yellow snow all around to pack around it, and then just plants his furry face right into it and starts blowing into the snow, kind of melting it with his hot breath. This yellow and brown snow which trickles into the Griffin's mouth, is all over Den Wolves' face, and breathes life into his friend, who starts coughing and hacking, and you're back with 1 hit point, Griffin. You're stabilized.
God.
Technically, you're stabilized, but we're giving you the 1 hit point just because this is fun, as you had to now eat the yellow snow. And, of course, Den Wolves got all over his mouth, too. So.
Does Griffin have a chance to have some sort of reaction to this?
Of course!
Fantastic. Okay. Griffin...
Are you going to throw me down a hole now?
No, just kidding. Griffin like wakes up mid like mouth to mouth, right? His eyes just and he is just, you can see his wings start going like flapping around, but not like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the Tabaxi, our friend, releases his lock on my beak, Griffin stops, looks at the Tabaxi, and says, "We will never speak of this. Ever. What's in my mouth?"
It tastes like poo.
Oh, okay.
And then I run back to the stairs because the floor isn't sinking in.
Blaze, where are you as you're watching this happen? I think you were pretty close by, weren't you?
I'm not showing. I'm stoic in the face, but inside I'm kind of cracking up at the of the crap smeared all over their face, and like, what's going on? Do any of us know where the remainder of the party went?
Oh shit! As I'm running back to the stairs, I'm like, "Where's Anna?
Oh wait,
We gotta get
Where
her
is
before
she,
the floor
somebody?
collapses."
Oh, that's right. It's in my satchel. Oh my.
Yeah, Anna's with Verdic.
double kill.
Where's Verdic?
Double kill.
Did any of us see him fall through the hole in the floor?
Griffin
did.
most certainly did. He shoved him through.
He may want to go get him.
I'm the only one that can fly.
Or
so
at
that's
least
technically
let
true.
people know.
Um,
minimum.
Yeah, Griffin is gonna go ahead and convey that. I'll just roleplay it. Hey, folks, I might have possibly accidentally pushed him down that hole.
Did he deserve it?
Well, he did kind of cause all this
Twice.
twice.
Okay, well, we'll worry about that after we find Anna. Which cell is she in?
Okay, no, see, that's the problem, friend. She's with him.
Arimathea's like, what do you mean Anna's with him? I haven't seen Anna at all.
She's been trapped in a little bottle. He has, apparently, there was a little bit of an accident. I don't really know the details too much, but that's pretty much what we know at the moment.
Well, go get the bottle.
Well, shite! What am I supposed to do? Just fly into this hole?
Yes, actually, it's kind of the
Wow.
point.
Wow, thanks. I just come back from death, and then you tell me to jump in a hole. That's great. Okay. Griff wants to maybe inspect this hole before anything. What exactly is he perceiving?
You're smelling the smell of foulness and poo, and you're. Oh wait, that might be still in your beak. I'm not quite sure. You know, it could just be you at this point. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of that, and you sense, because you're so used to the sky and the planes of it, the idea of wind moving. You see the clouds moving. You perceive things. Even though it's night there, you fly through the nights, plural, as you would sail for weeks on end. Falling asleep and waking, still flying. You know what's happening below, and you're looking down through the clouds, and through the clouds with your I was going to say eagle eyes, but your Arakocra eyes, you actually see that there's, beyond some of the clouds, almost like in the darkness, a moving waterfall and whatnot. And you can see all this happening. Somewhere down below, there's a waterfall from heaven, and somewhere down below through the clouds must be the world below.
The stairway.
The stairway. Okay, well, at that point, Griff is just gonna start calling out for Verdic, trying to find where he's at, if he can even hear me at this point.
And now we segue back in time to one moment as Verdic falls backwards into this hole, trying to catch himself with his spear, but unable to do so. Verdic, you fall backwards down through the darkness, and I would like you to make an acrobatics roll, and then I will describe the results. I'm going to work in why you're making the acrobatics roll here in just one moment. 16. Verdic, you fall backwards. down, and all of a sudden you feel yourself hit something, and that smell of rank poo that's in your pants and been dripping out is no longer in your pants. It's in your face, in your mouth, as you fall into this river of liquid waste from heaven above. And you fall into this and find yourself sliding down this slalom chute, gaining speed, the waste pouring over you, up over you, into your face, mouth, eyes, and you're coughing, trying to get it away. Oh, God, as it's all over you. And you're in this slalom ride. You hit one bank, roll off of it, are turning in a new direction, going down farther, faster, up over a bump. You catch air, hit another one, back and forth as you ride the sewer system of heaven down to the world below, into the magical darkness, and suddenly you're consumed by darkness as you splash down into what is a true lake of liquid excrement. Swimming for the surface. Oh, God, get me out of this. You get to this, gasping for air and breathing this all in, swimming through this lake of sludge. You get to the edge, trying to pull yourself out. There's other things floating in here too. It appears dead bodies, maybe other waste that's been thrown into the sewers. You get to this edge, and you can hear the roaring of waste behind you. But I'd like you to make a perception roll for me, please. You're muted, buddy.
Muted.
So before I roll, I'm just going to go get all that out. There we go. Oof.
You realize
Stop today.
you realize that you're hanging onto the edge of not the shoreline, but what might be a pool. And you're pretty sure because you spit it out, I lowered the DC. When you spit, you expected to, even though you can't see anything, hear like what you spit out onto like a surface, and it made you reach out farther, and you're like, there's nothing there around this pool. And it slowly hits you. You haven't hit the bottom of a lake. You swum to the edge of a pool that you can't feel anything on the outside of. Perhaps it's like an elevated above ground pool or something. But that's not what really caught your attention. It was the sound of something splashing or swimming coming towards you. What will you do?
Can I try to lift myself up?
You're on the edge of, picture yourself inside an above ground pool. Do you want to just climb out of it? Now you close your eyes because all you have is feeling, so
I'm going to attempt to just, I just want to straddle it, see if I can get up at least far enough to see what's on the other side.
You can't see anything. You're in magical darkness. There is zero vision.
I'm still going to attempt to just straddle because I don't know if my foot's going to actually dangle off the other side because I can't see anything. Like,
Okay.
I'm feeling my way through this. But
As you do, you come over the edge, and taking it cautiously, you're trying to reach down to the edge as you hear this swimming towards you, and you find yourself reaching further to the edge, and literally lowering yourself down to where you're just hanging on by your fingertips, and you feel nothing beneath you. And you realize either this is one hellishly deep pool, or you haven't made it down to the earth below yet. So, Griffin, back up top, as you're looking down, Verdic is nowhere in sight. There's just this waterfall sound somewhere, and as the mist part a little bit of the clouds, you catch the idea of a river running beneath you. But the biggest problem is that your eyes can pick up. You can see through the mist off to the sides, part of the world, but there's the one area right beneath you that it's just pitch black. Almost like part of the world had been erased, invisible. Darkness had overcome, and you think back to your training times where they taught you about magical darkness and whatnot, and you know that beneath you, either the world has truly been erased into a void, or there is just magical darkness.
Okay. So, at this point, I haven't jumped in,
Bravo, Shade.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay, fellas. So there's some darkness down there that could possibly be magical. I don't know. I'm ill prepared for that. Does anybody have anything like that that would help me to see? Because otherwise, I really can't help anybody.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Jeez.
And I need to see him in order to talk to him.
Can you possibly be able to
Oh, the
sense...
message spell, you mean, yeah. Or not message, yeah. Whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you be able to sense people with the mind? Anything like that? Maybe use you as a small radar?
I would have to see him in order to establish that connection.
Jeez. Griff looks over at Blaze and just like looks at him like, "What do you got? Anything?"
I'm not the one that can fly.
Clearly. Okay. Well, does anybody at least have some sort of a pick-me-up? Because I'm kind of feeling like shite right now, just in case.
I cast Healing Word.
Woo!
There we go.
Do it up, brother. Let us see those magic numbers fly. 5 actually
alright.
seems like a lot when you're still low level.
That's not bad. Thank you very much. That might just give me some false confidence. Here we go.
Two options. We either leave now, or we risk either one or multiple of us going down into that darkness.
Look, I'm not one for leaving any man behind. It's just not right.
I can see it's a difference in our trait.
Clearly. Where's your morals?
Now, Den of Wolves, in the time in between, though none of them know this, when you had gotten through into those secret passageways beneath, you had found your way to that dock area where you had seen a flying ship unlike any other you had ever seen. You knew that there were the Warforged in between, which is why you didn't make any motions to get onto the ship. You knew you would at least need a couple more. So you know there's more than one way out of heaven if you could commandeer that ship. Of course, how to fly it with those strange wing-like appendages on it and whatnot would be totally unknowable. But you definitely know there's more than one way out of heaven. This just might be another.
Well, on my way here, while I was scouting, I noticed a ship we could commandeer, but I have no idea how to pilot a ship with the wings.
Well, seeing as that it has wings and I have some familiarity with that, it's possible I might know what's going on there. Can't make any promises. I am technically the only actual pilot.
Well, no sense in standing around here then. I'm heading upstairs.
Fair enough. We'll find them.
Arimathea's
He's
like,
down there somewhere.
but your friend? What? What are you doing? Where?
Trying.
You just told me that Anna was in a bottle down this hole, and you're just leaving her?
No, we're
Right,
coming
right.
up with an alternative plan, because clearly...
Are you offering to jump down and scout?
She says, I offered to come and be here with you all to find out what's going on, and the next thing I know, I'm here in jail. She goes,
I came here to find out that you guys were in jail and then apparently attacked by smoke, shit, and a destroyed floor. So
Technically,
I feel
not
like we're
our
all
fault.
confused here.
And then Verdic was never seen or heard from again. Verdic and Anna disappeared for all eternity.
Jeez.
I guess a lot of that, your decision is going to come down to the fact that, time-wise, where is Verdic? Did Verdic die? Or is time of the essence? Because Den of Wolves naturally knows he's got to sneak you all back to that secret passageway and get you to the ship if that's your goal.
It's the only thing I can think of, but even then, I don't know how we're gonna pilot it into darkness. So these are all problems.
I mean, hey, be true to your characters for sure. Like if your character really isn't seen an alternative, you guys got to go.
Oh well, either way, I need to get to the ship because apparently you guys pissed off the Emperor. Is all I've gathered. So we need to leave.
And that's where Arimathea says they didn't piss him off; they shit him off. We were sitting there having a conversation; it was going really well, and suddenly, and I don't think she even. Yeah, I guess she does know his name and whatnot. She goes, and suddenly Verdic became violently ill and whatnot, and suddenly we were being dragged out, and then it just all went to hell so quickly.
Well, listen, do you have anything that could possibly help us get this dude down there? And our friend, of course.
Oh, I gotta give you plot points for that. Somebody who actually engaged the NPC. Okay, hang on one second. Let me take care of that before I forget. I owed you a couple from earlier anyway, so we'll pop that up to a 6. You know, it's funny because we were all stressing his his death saves, but he's got freaking banked plot points. It's like, dude, you were fine.
Yeah.
It's like he could have said, "I want to roll a nat 20," and you'll come up with 1 hit point. It's like.
I wasn't sure if I could do that. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can change your dice rolls. That's it. Yep. Our only precursor on dice rolls is again, it has to be somebody willing, so you can't do an NPCs, and that you can't buy up to a maximum and then get a crit by adding 1 point or a max on a damage dice by just adding 1 or 2 points. You got to drop a D20 to do that. Right. A golden crit. Only a golden crit can make that. All right, so 3-year shower, I agree. Arimathea looks at you and says, I can get one of us out of here. She goes, they didn't take my boots, so yeah. And again, you remember she's always standing in these 8-inch heel boots or 6-inch heel boots. I mean, they're massive. And whatnot. And she moves around in them as if they were just normal. She goes, but yes, I can get myself and one other out of here. She goes, but to be honest, I can't. And then you see her slowly, she pulls off her boots. She goes, these will get 2 of you out of here safely. She goes, and if he can fly, and she points to Griffin, she goes, that would get you, Den of Wolves, and you, Blaze, out of here. I can't leave the circus. These are my people. She goes, but these will float you safely down to the ground.
You do realize that if you stay, it's probably not going to be a good deal for you or your folks.
She goes, my fate is with the circus.
I tell her to keep her boots, take Den of Wolves, and go down, get back to where the circus is. And Griffin, you go ahead and fly out of here.
The circus is up here, remember? That's why she's saying she can't leave.
Well, I tell them if they want, they can go ahead and go. I've got a meeting with the Emperor.
Wait, what?
Are you willingly going to go kill yourself? This is madness. No way.
You pissed off the Emperor, shat in his throne, and now you want to go back to him.
Ratchet did not.
I did not.
Shat in jail.
Oh, man.
I get to have all the confusion stories. So far, you just shit on the Emperor. That's all I got.
Arimathea suggests that you bring him up to speed quickly. Whatever fate has fallen before Verdic has, by this time, already befallen him.
It's on. Listen, I know a way out. Follow me. Let's get out of here, and then from there we'll be fine.
And Arimathea tells you again the same thing that she said. I can't leave my people.
Well, even if we get out of here, you can get back to your people. Not out of heaven, but out of the jail.
I as a DM, not Arimathea, I'm kind of confused by what you're saying. So
I'm just trying to say we need to get out of where we're currently at because I don't want someone coming down to do some kind of check and then see everyone out of cells, a new person, and then start a fight.
she says, if all of you are gone, since the circus came under me, I can stay. I can take that up, I don't want them taking it out on my people because all of you are gone. She goes, I can tell them the truth. I can show them the contracts that you signed up for one day. Maybe that'll be enough to assuage the Emperor's anger. And you can tell that she's basically trying to take it on herself now because she contracted with you and she's taking the responsibility, basically.
That's bold.
I tell Den of Wolves and Griffin to go do what they can, try to find Verdic, get that taken care of. I asked Arimathea if she would like to join me for an audience with the Emperor. And we'll get this sorted out. Or die trying.
Arimathea, in all her height, takes a big breath and goes, I'd rather not go there alone. She goes, I've faced a lot, and I always wanted to get to heaven, but yeah, I'll go there and stand beside you on this. She goes, it might be better to stand beside you than on my own. She goes, he seems to have some sort of special interest in you anyway.
So then we head off towards finding somebody to get us into an audience with the Emperor again.
Then Den and Griffin, what are you doing?
Verdic.
Yes, we head off.
Off which way? Down the hole?
No, not going down the hole just like that. We're gonna go to that ship, right?
So,
or was that the alternate plan?
Well, did she say what the boots do? She just said they can get two people out of here to the ground.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if she actually said specifically how, but you can ask her really quick before she leaves if you want.
What do these do exactly so I can
save
them?
She says, well, they're magical, so you just slip them on your feet and you take off your shoes. Do you want to slip them on your feet?
Yeah, I'll just slip them on my feet.
They stretch right over, and suddenly Den of Wolves is about 5 inches taller, 5 to 6 inches, as he literally excels up on these high heels. You'll have disadvantage on any acrobatics checks. Your running speed is slowed while you're wearing the high heels. However, she goes, these automatically will allow you to always land on your feet up to 3 times a day. She says, so you will be able to float down and land safely on your feet. She goes, and if you can carry quite a bit of weight, so I imagine one of you could carry another to get out of here. She goes, but if you're not planning to use them to get out of here.
Oh. We might as well try. And then I jump down the hole.
But
we got boots. They're supposed to help.
Griff just looks down the hole and is like,
I'm weighing my options. I have a magical option that may save me versus trusting you to fly a...
Arimathea,
that wasn't the point.
I took the safe option.
The safe option was to not go down the hole.
Griffin was doing all he could to avoid the hole.
I'm aware of what Griffin was doing.
He was trying to avoid Verdic's hole, and I can't blame him.
Okay.
I like where this is going.
Griff is going to try and stay close to our floating friend Tabaxi, and just we might as well stick together.
Well, we don't even know if he's going to be floating yet.
Oh, well, wherever he's going, I'm following him closely.
Boots of anchors.
Arimathea secretly wonders if she should have told him to click the heels together before he needs
Probably.
them.
Yikes.
He steps off into the hole and falls like a freaking rock down through the thing. He's like, whew, God, before Griffin looks, he goes, okay, and dives out after him. And you see him falling, and literally, Griffin, as you dive in, you almost fly by him because immediately while his legs are wobbling all over the place. Den of Wolves, it's incredibly difficult to stand. I need you to make an acrobatics roll, but it feels almost like you stepped off of that, you started falling, and it was almost like ground is trying to form under your feet, but in these high heels, it's incredibly difficult. Welcome to every woman's world who's worn high heels the first time.
I'm gonna add a d6 to that. Just roll the dang dice. D&D Beyond. Okay, so
nice.
That's 19.
19, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Great. Moments later, you do catch your footing. Griffin flies by you, and you find you're still falling, but you're falling slowly. And every now and then, it seems like the ground shifts under your feet, and you have to adjust numerous times. You hear the sound of the rushing, what sounds like water, but is actually has the smell of waste nearby, and you're able to coordinate yourself as you're falling. You can't really direct yourself and walk in a direction too much, but you find that you can adjust it somewhat to get yourself in that direction. Griffin starts floating nearby, flapping with his wings, staying with you, and even his wings brush against you, moving you a little bit. And now, of course, the choice is, do you want to go away from this smell of crappy water or what?
Assuming that I can hear water rushing in a direction, I can only hope that it leads to the stairway and that it leads to where Verdic went, because those are the only things I know about.
So you head towards the water and whatnot?
Yeah.
You and Griffin head over there, and you realize it is literally this torrent of waste pouring down from above. Water mixed with filth and sewage and other things, and it just pours down, and some of the splashing sound comes from where it appears quite a distance below you. It hits something and splashes out. As you get closer to it, continuing to fall, you realize it's hitting something that splits it into separate chutes, and then these chutes carry the waste away. And you only have a split second, Den of Wolves, to choose how you're going to respond to this. Into a chute, stay out of a chute.
Into a chute.
And Griff, just like that, he kind of stumbles forward, hits the waist, and disappears. You, of course, can make a more conscious decision. What are you going to do? Because you're floating on your own.
Well, the plan was to stick together. That's what's happening.
So much for them tail feathers. You dive into the waist and all that, and you both start doing this. I need you to make a dexterity roll for each of you, please.
Here we go.
Oof.
And for our viewers, he just rolled up a 12 and another 12. They are together in all things. These two individuals go sailing down, bumping off the sides, hitting one wall, hitting another. At one point, Griffin actually comes up and bumps Den of Wolves, who was trying to slow himself down by his claws and whatnot. And then, bam, gets hit by his buddy Griffin behind with his talons on his feet and stuff, and picks up speed once again. Verdic, you are hanging on the edge. You can't feel the ground beneath you. Make sure your microphone's on and tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, it's on. I just wanted to make sure I didn't laugh too loud while you were what was going on. Jeez. I'm gonna keep climbing, I guess. Not much else to lose. I'm also gonna shout, is anybody out there?
You shout out and hear no response. There's only the rushing, and the splashing pauses for a moment as you do that, and then splashes louder coming towards you. I need you to make an athletics roll because your hands are covered in this waste and this other junk, and parts of it are over the side, and you're just hanging on by your fingers.
Man, you were
Well,
just...
I've had
Tonight
so
is
You
not
were
good.
hanging on by your fingers. Is that your final roll? Well,
I'm gonna use,
It's a
can
nat
I use
one.
my inspiration to.
you can't use inspiration after the fact. You got to call it in
Okay.
advance.
I mean, I have 10 plot points left. Can we boost that to a 16?
Not a nat one. We don't.
I can't do anything. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I can do. I don't have any way.
I
to do
can
anything else.
I can use a golden crit to make it a 20.
You want a golden credit? Up to you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Aw,
Yeah.
he does like me.
Aw, I love
you, the
it.
person, not you, the character. That's the difference.
Yeah, let's make that clear. We all hate you. We all hate your character.
And you know,
Characters.
But
For-
luckily, us as persons use plot points.
Yes, absolutely.
for all our viewers out there, that's the spirit you want at your table. It's okay not like a character, but boy, you better love each other as players at the table. Which was probably a great thing because you just saved him falling, 1,000 feet down to his death. As he literally starts scrambling, losing a hand, and grabs back on, and because it's a nat 20, also is able to pull himself up and get his elbows over. And as you do, this thing that's swimming towards you, again, you can see, or no, you're in the blackness, so you can't see anything. Yeah, it's just
Nope.
picking up speed. It's like there might be actually 2 or 3 of them, it sounds like, splashing towards you, whatever it
He's
is.
just gonna mutter.
So it
under
might be
his
your
breath, like,
friends.
Oh God.
Could be your friends that have
God.
finally caught up with you. Wouldn't that be great? Because we all know that's the type of game this is.
That's not the tone.
He's like, no, this is the tone where we pay for all our sins.
Exactly.
Uh-oh, catch the golden crit! Oh, my! There's some love. I'm giving Verdic some help. Wow!
Nice.
Derek, well done. Bravo. 1 golden crit going over. We'll add those plot points in for right now, immediately. There's some love. I love it.
No.
He was making sure you were saved, Verdic. Wow.
Somebody likes my character at least.
I think we all like your character, just not what your character's doing. Verdic,
Head pat.
you're swimming in there when all of a sudden there's louder splashes behind you. Den of Wolves and Griffin, you have fallen into this lake of shit. Come out, emerge in utter darkness. You're all suffering the blind condition as you have now come out down all these chutes into an area of complete blackness. Verdic, after these 2 loud splashes, the other swimming sounds seem to stop. Perhaps somebody drowned. Perhaps something fell on your friends who must have been coming towards you.
Is anybody out there?
And you hear this,
Get a
Griffin
little
and Dead.
Oh,
It's in the distance.
Griffin's gonna respond to that. Yes, you idiot. We're here.
Come this way. I can't see anything. Just follow my voice.
Griff is gonna definitely follow that voice.
Which is pretty good. It sounds like he's coming to meet you because you can hear the swimming approaching you, Griffin. You and Den. I'd like Den especially to make a perception roll because of his cat background.
Nice.
It's very odd because
Oh.
while he was swimming towards you and Den got a 22, it sounds like there's multiple people swimming towards you, Den. While you and
I
Griff
just said,
swim
"Brace
towards him.
yourself."
Uh-oh.
How do you respond to that, Griff? Just keep swimming away?
Swim more aggressively. Maybe put some of my wing into swimming. I don't know.
You start hustling it a little bit even more. And as you swim more aggressively, you literally swim right into this thing that all of a sudden you find yourself, and I'd like everybody to roll for initiative. Not you, Brock. You and Arimathea will be visiting the Emperor momentarily. Or not. One way or the other, somebody's going to be visiting you. All right. We have a nat 20 for Den. And then we have initiative is a 17 for Griff. Would you do me a favor and roll in as well, Verdic? Because I imagine this is probably going to include you here in a moment.
Initiative. Give me. Yeah.
And then we have Verdict. Okay, don't forget that you are in water. You have disadvantage on all melee attack rolls already, just for the sake of being in water. Your movement is going to be incredibly slow, and you're constantly trying to swim just to keep yourself afloat. So it's bad upon bad upon bad. If there was such a thing as double disadvantage, that would be a thing, but your ACs will probably be incredibly high as you try to just float and stab. As far as being an Arakocra in water, I think you're probably even worse off. You're used to literally flying for days and weeks and months on end. You're not a land creature, and sure as heck not a sea creature. Not like you're a seagull that just floats on the water and then says, hey, look, I'm springing into the air. So I leave it up to you to decide how good you are about getting out of the water into the air, and you can choose whatever you would like. Maybe you have that skill. Totally up to you. To that end,
could
Dan,
swim.
Yeah, see, if Howard the Duck can swim, then Griff. Because I would imagine,
Ducks can
like,
swim,
maybe
eagles can.
I would imagine that maybe Griff had done like some sort of fishing for any kind of food, right? So that involves getting wet sometimes.
sure.
So he's not like completely helpless, let's say, in the situation. But
So are you able to leave the liquid and get your feet aloft again? Are you able to start
if he
floating?
can, I'll have like a weird compromise here. If he can be able to get, because this isn't just water, right? This is sewage,
Yeah.
correct?
And other bits
if
of
he-
detritus, yeah.
Right. So if he can like get a chance to like get his wings above the liquid and shake them off, shake the debris off, then maybe he'd be able to get out the water.
Well, here's the neat thing. In 5e, Arakocra actually have 6 appendages. Unlike earlier editions where your arms were your wings, your arms and your wings are separate. So I can imagine anybody being able to float with just their arms and their legs, which would kind of put your wings above. And yeah, sure, if you want to do that, sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so
All right.
moments later you can be aloft, and then you're starting the round off. Your Griffin really hauled butt in front of you, and then you heard a splash there. You were already on guard. Maybe Verdic has become psychotic from the smell of poop, and now is trying to kill you. But in the darkness, you can't tell.
Psychotic. I don't know.
What would you like to
Never
do?
noticed,
This is very on brand for him.
I want to. I miss having spells that do all kinds of unique things.
Kind of learn.
Okay, I'm gonna use feline agility so I can get a little more movement
Okay.
and try to just swim forward to all the noises because I'm gonna have to physically either hear something or bump into something to know what's going on.
Moments later, you do bump into something wet and slimy, maybe Verdic stripped down and naked, and something like a hand is there as you approach into reach. You come into its reach, allowing it to use one of its actions, even though it is still your turn. And the hand swings out as you come into reach, hitting you. And I would like this will be an opposed grapple roll. Could you please make an in your case, make an agility or acrobatics
Yeah.
as it tries to grab you. Beautiful. You can sense this long, slimy hand almost trying to grab you and push you under the water, but you're able to, with your feline agility, get back on top. Continue your action. What do you want to do as it appears Verdic is trying to drown you?
I'm going to attack with a psychic blade.
Woo! Do it up.
This one.
You
That's good.
whip out with this psychic blade. It's a hit. Do some damage.
Oh wait, why did it roll so many?
I was about to say, why is it?
It auto rolled my sneak attack for some reason.
Well, you are within 5 feet of Griffin, so.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it was 9 psychic damage and then 10 sneak attack damage.
Wow. Literally, you lash out with this thing, cutting through whatever it was trying to push you under and cutting through something else. You feel your blade slow down. The thing, Griffin, that you were going against is suddenly silenced and floating. You're flapping above the water, but all the splashing has gone. Perhaps it's gone back under the water. Verdic, up ahead of you where you heard the numerous splashings of your friends, suddenly there was more splashing, something else. You hear the flapping of wings in the darkness. And then most of the splashing stops. And there's just the sound. Den of Wolves, what exactly do you sound like as you tread water over there? A cat and water.
I would hope not much, since I'm trained in stealth.
I'm not sure there's really a stealth swimming so much, especially during combat. But
you probably don't want to put your mouth under there.
Yeah,
No.
it's all in his whiskers anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
in his fur. Oh,
His tail's just spinning like a propeller.
Oh, moments later, you guys have met up the dead carcass of something kind of beneath you. And as it died, parts of it have started to float. A heavier part has started to sink. And whatever this thing is, it's large and has multiple arms, almost like pseudopods extending out from it. You can feel all this. The water is somewhat warmer here as the blood mixes with it, and all the fileness of it washes over you. Whatever it had for blood and intestines and guts, you're now swimming in as part of this in the darkness. I'm going to cut away for one moment, leaving you in your swimming pool of fecal material to Blaze and Arimathea. Blaze, you and Arimathea get to the top of the stairs, and looking back and forth down the hallway, this is nowhere even close to what you would expect in the Emperor's palace. You've been taken far below it, beneath the city. This is not a place for tourists, more or less. It's nice, but it's definitely not imperial. This is just clean. There is a runner rug leading to the right and to the left. How will you decide which way to go?
Were we blindfolded or anything when we were brought down here?
No, not blindfolded.
Okay, well, then we'll just take the path back that we came from.
Okay. You follow your best instincts and whatnot, and you follow up a corridor to another corridor to a larger area, following to a greater staircase. The lack of guards seems telling, shall we say. Arimathea comments on it. Why are there no guards? Where are all the people right now?
I don't know. We should have run into somebody by now.
And with all your training, you can actually recognize what is an actual station. You know, it's an alcove in a hallway where a guard might stand post, but it's empty, which seems incredibly odd. It takes about another 5 or 10 minutes as you're walking along boldly before you finally hear some voices up ahead. You're now approaching just one of the subfloors underneath the main area. And as you get there, you realize what it is. There's a commotion up front, and there's a discussion. I'd like you to make a perception roll just to make sure that you can actually hear it before you make yourself visible. Nice. You slow Arimathea down as she's listening, and you start listening, and you can hear the voices more clear than her. She asks you, what is it? And you quickly listen, and it appears they found it takes about a couple minutes hearing the different conversations. They found an open passageway, and there's a contingent of guards that have been sent in to find out who has invaded the palace. There's even a discussion about whether it's people from the circus, and then there's a discussion about the prisoners down below who tried to accost the emperor, and now they're wondering, is it a hidden assassination attempt? Is it one of the enemies? And there's numerous speculation. It doesn't take long to realize the guards have been summoned here to find out who the invaders are, what they've learned, and there must be a hidden area in another part of the castle or the palace.
We're gonna approach the voices and let them know. I'm just gonna let them know I've got information for the Emperor.
You make yourselves apparent. No weapons, again, anything on you, because again, that was the one thing I said was taken from you, was any weapons and whatnot, which I believe for most people the answer was no. Verdic got to keep his feather. They weren't interested in stripping you down, anything else, just making sure weapons weren't there. Blaze, did you have any? Because I said you could keep your whip and whatnot, but you didn't have any other visible
I
weapons.
hated mine off first.
That was all the way, yeah, back before you went inside, right?
Yep.
That being the case, before you left the downstairs, yours specifically would have been on a table nearby. I'm assuming you picked it up?
Oh, if they'd have been there, then yeah, I would have picked them up.
Yeah, whatever was visible that you had taken off was on a table there, where there would have normally been a guard, but in this case there was not. So yes, you have all your weapons and items on you. As you approach them, you have your whip at your side. Are there any other visible weapons that say, hey,
No.
I'm a fighter combatant? Just the whip. You make yourself known and immediately describe this. I'd like you to make a persuasion roll, if you would, please. You communicate this, but these guards who are already tense, already on edge, already looking for criminals, now see the former captives who have, as the conversation was just going, possibly tried an assassination attempt on the Emperor there before them. Some of them charge forward. You quickly realize that all these guards and their voices are draconic. These are the tailless Dragonborn that you had already met. These individuals charge forward aggressively, surrounding you once more. There's about a half dozen here. There is some humans behind them. They must have been obviously speaking to them about what the passages were. Two of the humans rush off, leaving the guards to deal with you. They demand, why are you out of your cells? They immediately start questioning you. Arimathea stays close to you, trying to affirm the same thing, but not leading the conversation. It's clear they have no intent of wanting to bring you before the Emperor.
I'm going to speak in a boisterous voice in Draconic, and let them know I have information for the Emperor. I am not your enemy.
I'll lower the DC and allow you to make another persuasion roll since you're switching into Draconic.
Okay. I'm also I'm going to use some of my points.
Do you want to use your inspiration as well?
Yeah, why not? We'll go ahead and use it.
Okay.
All right. And you said persuasion?
Yes. Unless you want to get aggressive and make an intimidation, but...
No, I'm not trying to be aggressive. Let's go ahead and add 10 to that.
Well, don't forget, or did you roll twice? Because I only see one roll there. Inspiration is twice.
Once. Oh, well, we'll take that right there.
Is that your final number? 20?
No, we'll go ahead and add 10 to that.
Okay. So with a 30, you slip into this Draconic, telling them that you want to be taken to the Emperor. They look to each other. One growls and literally snaps a little bit at the other. They're used to this type of behavior. The other one seems incredibly shocked that one would snap, and you actually hear him whisper back to him in Draconic, "Control yourself. You're not a beast." Yet you are used to your people back there doing this all the time. This is totally normal for the Dragonborn, at least that you know. These ones that look almost humanoid with a softer sheen to their scales and whatnot seem resistant to it. And then the one slips up and you realize why they're taking you. The one that had challenged the other one, he goes, "You know the Emperor wants him." And with that, these two lead you all the way back. It takes quite a few minutes to get there. All the way to the Emperor's court. Where those who are already at the court, those one standing guard that are still there, totally formal, you only catch briefly that something's amiss because these guards, which should be standing still, move their eyes and watch you. One's lip sneers back a little bit, as if wondering how somebody unannounced could come before the Emperor's court. You're finally left at the doors when the one knocks on the doors, a human answers it, and they open the doors. You recognize immediately one of the humans here is one of the two that ran off before you. They welcome Arimathea and Blaze as if you had always been expected. And they say, the Emperor will see you now. Do you wish to take away your whip and your weapons again?
This time I will not. I offered them freely the last time. This time, I mean, I'm not going to grab them or anything, but I'm just going to stride through and not offer them up.
You're brought in up this long corridor where again you see the same individuals at the far edges. Clearly, any move in here, just like before, would be met by a sweeping motion of all these guards collected. You find yourself brought before, and once again, and the same individual leading now, a different one than last time, tells you, and stop, and bow, and goes through the same ritual motions. Do you follow them all this time, or do you challenge the authority?
This time, basically, I'm just making this urgent. All right, I'm bypassing all the formalities this time, and I'm just going to be like, I've got information. There's something or someone trying to kill the Emperor, as well as my party members. And if you want my information that I have, I'm willing to give it freely, but we don't have time for all the formalities.
The individual who was bowing down and whatnot when you start speaking continues to do his thing. Arimathea follows suit and only hesitates for a moment. And you actually, I'd like you to make a perception roll for me, please, to see if you notice something. And as you say this yep, as you say this, and for everybody that was watching, it was a 1. As you say these things, you communicate it. And Arimathea only hesitated for a moment before dropping down face first. And then there's a pause before a reply comes in an incredibly gruff voice, and you recognize the hints of that draconic, deep, guttural sound at the back from up front ahead. You dare challenge the Emperor? Now, I hadn't asked you, have you been averting your eyes, or were you looking straight forward towards the Emperor's throne?
No, I was not looking at the Emperor, but I was ignoring the other formalities and conveying my message to the person that's going to convey it to the Emperor. But basically to show this is urgent. We don't have time for the BS. Let's get it taken care of.
Okay, so you had been purposely looking away from the throne to the left where the voice of the Emperor stood. And it's from out of those shadows where you're looking, where you see a large blue draconic figure come forward. And you notice something about this one immediately. He doesn't have a tail, but he has a stub. Almost like there's something more aggressive about it. He's bigger than the other ones. His jaw more elongated, closer to yours, but he doesn't have a full tail. But he definitely has more of this draconic ancestry. And there's a fire in his eyes as he steps forward, saying, "How dare you challenge?" And it's then, for the first time, that you hear a snip of a sound, a very light voice, as if a child's voice. Say something. What languages do you speak?
Oh, you would ask that. I've got it here somewhere.
That's all right. I'll give you a moment. While you figure that out, I'll cut back to our other 3 who are floating in a swimming pool of waste. How do you want to reply? What do you want to do to this situation?
Verdic, are you dead?
He might be, because he keeps forgetting to turn his mic on.
Oh, I had the wrong beat. Killed me. Is there somebody else out there with you?
Something's dead now. I don't know what's going on.
Then all you hear is him muttering, "Of course there's something else out there."
Just stay put and keep talking. I'm going to start swimming towards him.
I would like you all to make con saves as you continue to swim in this filth.
Oh.
What's a little sewage pool swim? Isn't it normal?
Oh, yeah. Good for the skin.
The D&D.
Water is the biggest killer in D&D. You don't get control. You have no footing. You're literally just trying to stay afloat. I see Griffins. I see Verdicts. I don't see...
Mine should be above both of them. It's
Oh,
13.
I do see Den. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
You guys just, again, you hadn't noticed it before with the overwhelming smell of all this waste. But the cloud, which rushed out, has rushed to this familiar smell, drawn to this area, and is now floating above the water. But it has seen something living that it can feast upon. And that cloud that Griffin is floating above has started to touch you. Griffin, you can feel it. Again, you two are literally swimming in this filth, and as it comes across the water, it comes right for your heads. So any con saves that you take now will be at disadvantage, since literally you are just trying to breathe above the water. Nearby, there is the sound of continued rushing water coming in, but you all know that where water comes in, water must also go out. And Verdic, you know this especially since it wasn't pouring over the edges of this pool. Just simple physics, it must be going out somewhere else. Griffin, again, you can't see your friends. You're in darkness, but you can hear their splashing. What do you want to do?
Griffin is gonna just go ahead and say, "What's going on? Why are we freaking out again? I don't know what's going on."
I don't know where we are. I've never seen darkness like this before. But there's got to be another way out.
Where exactly are you? Is there an end to this pool? What is this?
If you go over the pool, I have a feeling we're not going to like what's on the other side. But there's got to be another exit. I don't know. We must be in something that has something, some other exit. This whole place is a maze.
I'm just swimming. I'm not opening my mouth.
That's fair. That's good.
And this mist is literally, as Griffin's talking and whatnot, and you guys are sensing, it's like it's trying to get into any orifice that it can, your ears, your eyes, your nostrils, your beak. It's literally trying to get inside you, to you.
No one told this thing about consent, did it?
I know, right? What the heck?
And who is the foresight for? I mean, I could go and find it, but I'm not there and I don't have a moderator to go
It says a drain. That's all it says.
No. They redeemed a foresight to give to somebody. Verdic.
Verdic.
Verdic
There
is
you go.
foresight.
Yeah, it's like all it says is a drain. Doesn't say a person yet. You're good.
There we go. The drain is easy enough to find. You find that the current's actually pulling you towards it. One moment later, Den of Wolves is like, "Oh, I found," and poof, you're sucked over the edge. And suddenly you find yourself in a chute once again, falling down, out of sight. And of course, none of your friends know this because they couldn't see you go. Did you scream or anything as you went over the edge like a little girl, or?
Yeah,
There you go.
right. I don't care what kind of big man I am. If I suddenly have everything taken away from me and go flying, I'm screaming.
Just cat screech.
Literally, like the edge of a waterfall, this torrent that comes in here is pouring over the side where there is an opening to let everything out. And as you get closer to it again, the current just picks up, pulling all this sewage and nasty stuff over the side. And woof, you're down into the chute below. You go over the edge, screaming like a little girl, but alerting all your friends that something happened to Den of Wolves over in that direction. How would you respond, Griffin? Verdic?
Griffin wants to at least go to the origin of which that noise was, like just floating over there.
You flap cautiously, and you come to an area where you hear now the sound that you can differentiate between the torrent coming in and a secondary waterfall coming over the edge. And you sense it somewhere down beneath you. The advantage, though, is that Den of Wolves was pulled away from this mist, whereas the stinking cloud, as you try to flap away from it, Griffin, you can sense it trying to wrap around your wings and chase after you. And it gets a 16, so it actually does hit. And I need you to make a con save.
Okay. Let's see.
You do not have disadvantage. Only Verdic does, who'd be floating.
Could
But
I
go ahead.
add some points to
Of
that?
course. Of course.
I've got to use some of them now. Let's go ahead. What was that? That landed at a 5. Let's throw. Why not 15 points at it?
Okay, 15 it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, whoops. I almost did the wrong person. I almost took him from poor Verdic. But it's Eric. Verdic's like, no, don't steal mine.
I need some still.
You find it trying to get inside your beak, trying to get inside you. And you realize that entity, that sentient, nasty death cloud is just coming at you. But you beat it away using your wings and whatnot. Your only way to truly get away from it is either to have it stay away from you, or you're going to have to leave Verdic behind. You know the party's already split. Den of Wolves has found his own way out.
Okay. So you said I could hear like a waterfall again, right?
Yeah, right beneath you, where Den of Wolves
All right.
seems to have go down.
Okay, so I'm going to yell out to Verdic saying, listen, I believe there's another waterfall over here. Something. Right now we need to get out of here. Follow my voice and just go with it. And
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna follow that waterfall sound, whatever it may be.
Yep. Verdic's gonna follow the sound of Griffin and the splashy that he hears.
Okay. Verdic, you go over that way. I need you to make another 2 Constitution saves for me as you swim your way there while this thing tries to get inside you. Don't forget, you have disadvantage on both of them. So half of your
there's
first one. Roll again.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get another nice high one. Okay, that's a fail. So you'll be suffering the poison condition on the next round, which means top of this round you automatically take damage.
Alright.
And I just hit a max again. That's 9 points of damage. Are you still up?
Oh yeah, I'm up.
Okay. So now make your next save.
Alright, play changes and then
First.
Now, a question about plot points.
Yes.
Since this is 2 saves in one, 2 rolls in one, can I still add plot points to them?
Yes, you can. You always can roll it, add them to your final. So in other words, like if you were rolling with advantage, you would add them to the highest. If you were rolling with disadvantage, you would add them to the lowest. So now you'd roll for your second one just to see whatever your roll actually is, which is a 4.
Yeah, we're gonna add 14 to that.
There you go.
14 makes it that it does not get to. It only gets to do the automatic damage, no extra damage this round.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm using my maximum movement for swim, trying to just
And-
really splash in there.
At the end of your second round, you hit the waterfall, go over the edge, and you're pulled away from the stinking cloud. Still infected by it, but only vulnerable to it when it's in your presence. You go over the edge, swimming down. You guys will follow this pattern down and down and down through these numerous chutes, some of which split off, some of which have these little platforms. I would like you each to roll D12 for damage on the way down, and then subtract. Griffin, yours is going to be different, and then subtract whatever your dexterity modifier is. So if you have a high dexterity, you'll subtract this from your damage roll on the way to the bottom. Griffin, you're not actually in the chutes taking damage. I'm assuming you're floating all the way down. You'll come down quite a bit after them, but you won't take damage. So yours will be, let's say you bump into 1 or 2 things. Try a D4 and then subtract your agility.
Okay.
And that's just in case you bump into things in the dark.
Right.
That's a 6 for me.
So a total of 6. So by the time you get all the way down to the bottom, battered, bruised, and everything else, you don't have to explode that dice for damage. Not at all. You know, it's just a 4, subtract whatever you're... And a 1. Wow, Verdic, you did really well, buddy. Does your dexterity get rid of that?
Yeah, it's my dexterity is +2.
So truly what we've learned by all this is not only is he a shit exploder, but he's a shit surfer as well, because whereas poor Den of Wolves suffered on the way, even Griffin floating on the way suffered, oh, not Verdic, man, he's at home in the shit. Pardon my language, but that's just the truth. It's like he comes down, hey guys, can we do it again? That was fun.
Molded by shit.
You guys have all gotten down to the world below, still in pitch darkness, but you can hear each other gasping and crying out. Somewhere up above, the sentient death cloud now swims, but now down below you'll have to deal with whatever abominations are in this lake down below. Up above, there's a different horror, as Blaze squares off with this individual challenging him. You dare! And this squeaky voice. What languages did you find, Blaze?
Common, Draconic, Druidic, and Snake speech.
Common, Druidic, and Snake. The individual speaking is speaking none of these. He says something, and immediately you see this larger Dragonborn snap to, never taking his eyes off of you, but bows his head and then turns towards the throne and backs once again into the shadows. The voice then also, the voice is the person standing near the throne. The voice then also bows down and leans in and then stands back and stands up. And there's a voice instead from the shadows, and it's in common. And it says, "It is a shame that you had to be here, Aramethea." And it's speaking in common. Otherwise, you would not have heard my language, and you would have been permitted to leave and to live. He says, "What information is it you have to share? You may share it before your friend, since she will not be permitted to take the secrets of this throne out of here."
Don't quite know how to take what he's saying, but that's a matter we'll deal with after bit. I basically fill him in on everything going on. You know, he's been under attack this entire time. We've been under attack this entire time, from the explosions at the circus down below to the incident that happened in the throne room from the partner being poisoned, to the entity that showed itself down in the restraining rooms. And then I go into that, we began to attack that. I lost 3 of my party members in the ensuing conflict. Basically the whole restraining room floor has been wiped out, no longer exists, but something's trying to kill us and kill the Emperor.
He says, "My advisors have explained to me that you are the very ones to bring the attack. You mentioned this explosion, and yet it was one of our very own found captive, one of my nobles, tied up in the very circus that came here. Someone we thought had gone missing down below when you claimed that you were the ones that were actually attacked. And yet you came into this very room, and one of your own dared attack me, insulting our very people. And then I hear now that there's something down below," and he leans over. The voice then speaks to one of the guards, and you hear an echo as it goes down the walls, repeated from one guard to the next. And you heard what it was. It was checking down below. He says, "The results have not yet come, but if what you say is true, you've also then broken out of here after an attack on me. You can see why this would be disconcerting." Aramethea speaks at this point, keeping her head down. She's still kneeling on the ground. She says, "If I may, your majesty." And he says, "That is not the correct term, but you may speak, Aramethea. You may even rise, perhaps for the last time." And she says, "I did not mean to overhear the speech of goblins here, but if that's what it is, I don't see why my life would be forfeit, but please spare my people. We did not mean to hold anyone captive. This individual that we held is not who they appear to be. They are something quite different." And as she's speaking, he says, "Silence." And he stops her right where she is. He says, "You shall divulge no secrets of this realm, not even here. Everyone leave now." The voice next to him stops. "Perhaps, Your Majesty, I may suggest," and the voice of the Emperor speaks once more and says, "If I have to repeat myself." And that's all he says, and he leaves it hanging. The voice next to him straightens up, and the guards all march out. You're alone in this massive hall. You, Arimathea, and the Emperor, who walks out from the small pavilion towards you, into the light, coming from the shadows, the size of a child, but not a child at all, but a goblin dressed in finery before you. He says, "No one carries the secrets of the Empire to a world that hates my people." And that's where we'll end it for tonight. Congratulations on getting down below. Your hit points will remain the same, but you guys have encountered and overcome the boss battle for this section. Welcome to leveling up. You may have all your abilities. Do not give yourself any extra spells until you have a long rest or anything else. But you have attained the next level. If you can get a long rest, you'll be ready for it. So, well done. Hey, we had a whole lot of fun here tonight. I'll tell you, I never expected anything like what was here. I expected you guys to either go and have it or maybe chase down Dead of Wolves thing, but always a surprise here on Plot Points with some of the best players on the internet. What were your favorite moments, guys? I know we haven't segued out yet, but for the audience and whatnot, what would you want them to carry away from tonight?
I personally,
yeah,
sorry,
it's both of us.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite moment, definitely what just happened, because I knew, like, from the first time that we had something with the Emperor, and you described him as like small and childish. I was like, that thing's a goblin, and there's some stuff going on here. So I really love that cool reveal that you set up with that. It really spices things up and makes things very interesting for this entire world now. So, yeah.
Anybody else got something for the audience?
Yeah, I was gonna say just always just embrace the chaos because it's always so much fun. Wild magic creates a hole, and now we're all sewer surfing. What's up?
Cowabunga.
Maybe I should change the title of this one for sewer surfing. I like that. That's a good one. Blaze?
What I would say for everyone to take away from this is, if you're ever in a party with Verdic, it's gonna be shitty.
Oh,
Bang,
poor
bang.
guy. Oh my god, that is too funny. And Verdic, you got anything you want to share?
Still not dead yet.
Hey,
I'm not dead
that's a
yet.
positive.
Favorite.
That's a positive.
Oh my
favorite
god.
part. Not dead yet.
Oh my god, that is
And
way too
Blaze
funny.
didn't lose his head going back to the Emperor that we tried to escape.
Yes. Well
Those
done.
were both great things.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, from all of us at Plot
I do
Point-
have one thing to add, Sean.
Yeah, go ahead.
A poem for the night.
Oh, lovely.
Do not go silent unto the night, for you may end up covered in shite.
Griffin
Oh my
loves
god. Don't go
Griffin
quiet
loves
into the night, for you may get covered in shite. I will add that to the description of tonight's episode. Hey, I want to thank everybody who's here in chat with us tonight. Wolves, Shade, Verdic, Freya, everybody, Dara. You guys all made tonight so special. Literally, you changed the world with your wild magic, with things happening, with Verdict's choices. And I never know where it's going to turn out. But you know what? This isn't the only table that does this. Whatever table you're playing at, whether it's at home or online, make it the best game possible. Share the time with others. Build some relationships. Make amazing memories. And along the way, you'll create some friendships that are going to last a lifetime. From all of us at Plot Points, have a great night. You should already be prepped up for our raid. Tonight we're going to raid Gunstar. I'm on Guam. Guns on Guam. And we're going to go over there and raid him. So be prepared to just hype up his channel and shout at him. We're raiding now.